welcome to Folklore Unlocked. I'm Austin, and like always, I'm joined by Ethan.
Yep. Hello again, everyone.
And you might remember us saying in our last episode, in the Loch Ness Monster episode, that this week we would be doing the missing 411 theory. Well, there's been a little change in that. And this week, we're doing Giants, Nephilim, and the Bayside Mall incident.
So, description for this: giants, as you probably know, are just massive humanoid creatures. And the word giant comes from the Greek word gigantes, and basically just really tall people. I mean, usually they're mostly humanoid or some sort. Cyclopses could also be kind of considered like giants or what anything that's basically big. That's basically it.
And Greco-Roman myths kind of build off this de- depiction of massive humans, but more so they were a race of great strength, a race of great strength and aggression, but more so the size of normal humans. And according to Hesiod, Gigantes were offspring of Gaia, or Mother Earth, and Uranus, Father Sky, via some of his blood that fell after he was castrated by his tiny son, Cronus. And they also led the Gigarmy against the Olympian gods, which Cronus ate sort of 11 of them, which Zeus freed. And yeah, that's probably a whole nother episode, probably a whole nother 2 episodes to go through the Olympian gods.
I wish I knew more about Greek mythology and stuff like that because I feel like a lot of it's really cool, but I don't know that much.
Oh, I love it. And the the depictions in Greco-Roman myths are that in archaic and classical representations of gigantes show them as human-sized hoplites, which are which were heavily armored ancient Greek foot soldiers. And after about 380 BC, show them with snakes for legs, which is interesting. And then even later depictions confuse them with other opponents of the Olympians, including the Titans.
For me, being not, I don't like snakes at all. That is terrifying if you saw a giant going around with snakes for legs. And also, I don't really know how that would work.
That then you would hate Medusa.
It's a little bit different, but I mean, still terrifying.
She's got snakes for hair.
Hey, okay, we just put a hat on and we're fine. Okay.
Just make sure she's got sunglasses or something on.
There you go. There you go. Now we'll talk about the Nephilims. They're mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, in the book of Genesis, and they're sometimes translated to giant. Nephilim sometimes translated into. Nephilim is directly translated as the fallen ones, and some believe that Nephilims are the offspring of fallen angels and then human women. It's also believed that they are descendants of Seth and Cain, and there are, kind of like we said in the very beginning here, possible sightings at Bayside Marketplace in Miami, Florida. They were giants that were around there, and we'll talk about that later. And then archaeology, there are some like instances where they have found massive bones that look like they're humans, which me myself, I do not quite believe in it that much. But they found some massive bones in 1613 in France, which were assigned to Tetobochus, the legendary giant and king of the Teutons. Later on, people were looking at them and were like, well, they kind of look like elephant bones, or possibly mastodon bones. So, I mean, we're they're not 100% sure, but I'm more leaning to like the elephant or mastodon bones.
Come on, man. You gotta believe in giants here.
Okay, there. We'll get to that later. There are real world giants that I'm all right with.
And now on to the Bayside Mall Marketplace incident in Miami, Florida, with the official story going around is that a group of 50 or more juveniles were fighting with sticks and setting off fireworks inside the store, which caused, from the video that's going around, I'd say close to 100 or more police officers to respond, and they arrested four. And and videos have allegedly shown giant creatures that people say are 7 to 10 feet tall, shadowy, and semi-transparent, and alien, lizard, or demonic-like in nature. And apparently, there's videos of alleged UFO sightings in Miami around the same time as the event, which, with residents near the mall, claim to have lost either power, Wi Fi, or even both.
Even for
So,
Florida, this is a little weird.
yeah, even for by Florida standards.
I can't believe the police officers only arrested 4 people if there was at least 50 that were there doing stuff.
Yeah. And if if these alleged creatures shown on film are real and the UFO sightings are real, if, which is going to be a very big if in my books, what the hell is going on in Miami? Because this is like something out of a movie, the end times. This is like, I don't know where this is from.
Now you see,
This is off the tracks, even for those movies.
Now you see, if it later came out that they were recording a movie and that's what all this was for, that would make a lot of sense. Okay, I'd be sitting here, I'm like, oh, hey, I might actually go watch a movie like that kind of thing. But just this actually being just an incident or whatever, and just all this weird stuff happening, I'm sitting here, I'm like, what the heck's going on over there?
Yeah, because right now, like it happened on New Year's Eve, but it didn't really get out until this last weekend, which would have been, oh, I think the 6th, yeah, the 6th and 7th of January.
This world,
So,
this year's already starting off with a bang.
I mean, really, but something like, how does a group, I mean, really, it's 2024. Do kids even go to malls anymore?
Yeah, they go there to set off fireworks.
I mean, I could understand like a group of like 5 going to the mall and doing this shit, but how does a group of 50 just go to the mall and just decide to do this?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
because I don't think I could get a group of 50 to get together and just hang out, let alone fight with sticks and set off fireworks.
Are we good to start talking about some real world giants here?
Yes.
Okay. So, as I say, like kind of real world giants, because since we don't really know if they did exist for sure back then, these are ones we know for sure existed. So, this is Robert Wadlow here. I think this is like a wax portrait of him right next to Shaq. And Robert Wadlow was known as the Alton Giant, or also sometimes the Giant of Illinois. And he was born around February 22nd, 1918, and lived to July 15th, 1940, and he died at the age of 22. He was the tallest known person in recorded history at a height of 8 foot 11.1 inches, which is about 2.72 meters. And he weighed around 439 pounds, which is just about 200 kilograms. And his gigantism was caused by, like most people, is hypertrophy of his pituitary gland.
Also known as gigantism.
Exactly, since we're talking about giants here. And yeah, as you can see here, even to Shaq, Shaq is a huge guy. He is kind of dwarfed by Robert Wadlow. It is insane.
Yeah, yeah. A reminder: Shaq is like 7 foot 7'1", like 300 pounds,
Mm.
and he looks like a normal sized person.
He looks normal sized.
He does in this picture.
No, I agree. I agree. I want to go to wherever that statue is, and like I know I'll be like super short, but I want a picture next to it. It'd be nice to have. And then, kind of like we said, hypertrophy of the pituitary gland. You might be like, oh, what? I don't know what the pituitary gland does. Like most people probably, I didn't know really that much about it until I started learning about this. But the pituitary gland is on the bottom side of your brain, kind of like next to your brain stem or whatnot, and it's about the size of a chickpea. It's very, very small, oval shaped, and really, you probably wouldn't look at it a second thought. But it secretes tons of hormones that help control lots of different stuff in your body. One of these being growth, blood pressure, energy management, all the functions of your sex organs, your thyroid gland, metabolism, all sorts of stuff with your like pregnancy and childbirth, breastfeeding, your water and salt concentrations of the kidneys, temperature regulation, and pain relief. That small little organ does stuff for all of those. So it's very, very important. And when something like that goes wrong, then a lot of stuff can go wrong. And
Obviously.
yes, obviously. And the growth hormone, or I guess you can do GH, or somatotropin, okay, is the hormone, human growth hormone. And this is kind of how, like, problems with your pituitary gland is what causes most gigantism things.
And in pop culture, there's plenty of representation for giants in general. There's the New York Giants of the NFL. There's the New York slash San Francisco Giants of the MLB. There's the Giant, which was a ring name used by Paul White, better known as the Big Show, during his run World Championship Wrestling or WCW. Giant Gonzalez was a ring name used by Jorge Gonzalez, and the WWF, now WWE. Andre the Giant, who also participated in the WWF and who was an actor. I guess this is an asterisk, but Hagrid from Harry Potter was half giant in the novels and the movies. So
I love hearing stories about Andre the Giant because there was one time where I think he was there's some movie he was in, and like he broke wind during the filming or whatever, and everything stopped. And then someone came up there. It's like, Andre, are you all right? And I think it was like a minute long is how long it took for him to break wind. And it's like, Andre, are you all right? And he was just like, I think so. I just love hearing stories about him.
plus, I think he drank like 100 something 16-ounce cans of beer, and it barely did anything to him.
That wouldn't surprise me. He was a big guy, so it'd take a lot of alcohol to start affecting him.
Yeah, say all three of the wrestlers were like 7 foot plus and being over 300 pounds. So, well, man,
Hmm.
thoughts is that I do think at one point in time giants did exist, but due to factors no longer exist outside, the pituitary gland doing a thing, it's too scientific for me to get into. Not a scientist, not my point of strength.
Yeah, I don't really think folklore giants exist. They might have in the past or something like that, but I haven't seen enough facts to see that or anything like that. Evidence, I guess. But I do think giants do exist because there are some real world giants like Robert Wadlow and Andre the Giant, whereas they might not be like 20 feet tall or like however big some giants are in like folklore. They are pretty good size. I mean, being like 7, 8 foot tall or something like that, that is a lot larger than most normal people are. Which that causes a lot of problems with health and stuff like that whenever you get that big, kind of like Robert Wadlow dying at the age of 22. So it's not really good for you to be that big, but it's still very impressive.
Very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think that's all we've got for this week. And next week, and unless something like the Miami incident happens again, we'll be doing the missing 411 theory. Any last thoughts, Ethan?
No, just thanks for watching again, everyone.
Leave us a like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Drop us a follow if you're on Spotify. And we'll see you next week.
Yep, bye, everyone.